What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you guys for coming back for another video here in central North Carolina. As you can see, we got sun over here. I'm going to stay in the shade for the moment. Thank you for tuning in. I know many of you are only tuning in to see this beautiful and glorious and powerful mustache. And I just want to say you're welcome. For the rest of you, the other small minute group of you that came for lawn care, we're going to jump into it right now. I was hoping to give you guys, in all seriousness, this Friday, hoping to give you more of a update. I didn't have the camera, I wasn't thinking about it. We've had a busy week up at the church. We've had special prayer services at the church. Was teaching the kids last night, and so just lost completely, have not been really tuned in with lawn care. But I want to basically start the first half of this video. It's going to be a brief one, by the way. Got a headache, just had one this morning. I went and had to change the truck battery. It's getting very cool. We got 30s, upper 30s coming in tonight. The frost has stayed out west towards GCI and Pete and them over there, so no frost threat here where I am, but it's been cooler. I needed to do that last year, so finally installed that, got that done. Battery in the truck so we don't have a problem. So anyways, side note, with the project lawn, I've been looking at it. Me and Mr. Kevin was actually looking at it last night at the church, and it just seems like with the higher temps we had, if you guys remember, and I don't know if I want to insert a clip here if I've got it, I was sweating profusely. I was like almost about to pass out. I was so hot on the day that I aerated, I seeded, and then used the peat moss roller. I mean, it was super duper ridiculous hot in the 80s, mid 80s. Now, I don't know if because of how warm it was, that it just seems like there's a thinning closer to the church of that ryegrass. And so that's why we planted it. I wanted to see. So far, not been impressed with the Jonathan Green ryegrass portion. The fescue, and I'll show you once we can give you an update. We're going to be doing another possibly repair out there. But the fescue down by the lower area, it looks outstanding. I want the whole lawn to look like this portion of the fescue, but it's just like there's little brown and thinning. Doesn't look like anything fungus related. I think, just like some said, I think you guys were right. The ryegrass with its shallow roots, it was so warm, it's baby grass. Maybe we didn't get enough rain, not being there to water it enough. It just got too hot and fried it. That's all I can imagine. We've been working on the pH. We really need to do a soil test, maybe first part of spring, to find out if we need to do lime in spring. But anyways, what we have decided to do is I put in an emergency order to the church and said, hey, can we get like a 5-pound bag of Jonathan Green Black Beauty original all tall fescue? Let's just go straight tall fescues, quit playing games. Let's just, because that looks great. The ryegrass, you guys told me, I've now seen it for myself. I think that's the only thing that's dying off. We'll show you, but we're going to basically overseed before frost, hopefully, just overseed 5 pounds of Jonathan Green straight up tall fescue Black Beauty. Hopefully that will begin to germinate. We've already aerated, so this is just hoping that it will take and it will be able to germinate and fill in these gaps over time before frost comes. So we're cutting it close, but I would rather take that risk with 5 pounds than not. So we'll do that at the project lawn next time we're there, and we'll show you exactly what that's looking like. I want to take you guys to the front lawn. The saga of the car driving over my grass continues. I got an update on that, so I figured since I don't have church footage to show you, we would just show you that. Just to quickly show you the backyard. We are looking better. As I told you last time, I did a mow 3.5 inches. This area, if you're like, Mr. Ferguson, that looks really thin right there, what happened? I constantly forget every single year. We did shady nooks here. Remember, Jonathan Green shady nooks. It's made for damp, dark, shady areas. It did well. And then when I go and I turn around and I use my tenacity, it harms this area every single time. The tenacity, I forget about it, and the tenacity thins it back out. And so I always forget. So I've got seed down. It's coming back. You can see some of the wispy grass over there. We've got seed down that I believe over time will germinate. So we're still thickening up in many different areas, but like this stand of grass right here looks great. We're continuing. The only thing that's kind of concerning in my yard right now along the edges back there, it is looking thin. We do have leaves on the ground as well, so I was out here hand watering some of this. I don't know why that is. A lot of that grass came up. I think same thing. Some of that grass didn't get sun, didn't get enough water. It kind of thinned back out, and so you see it's kind of thin down there. This in the middle is looking better. It's continuing to thicken up, and you can just see for yourself the rest of it. It's starting to slowly come to the lawn that I expect. So hopefully with a big shot of HCU here for Halloween, not a big shot, but you know what I mean, darkening this thing up with urea, it's going to promote all this baby grass is going to jump up, and it's going to help. So you know, areas like this, it may look a little damp to you. We did have a little sprinkle of rain the other night, but I've been over here hand watering this. Now that we've dried out, I'm just putting water on top for that seed to keep it wet so it will germinate. And many of the holes, I don't know if you can see it on camera in 4K, but many of these holes, every single one I'm looking at has baby grass in it. It just needs to become mature. And so, but there are still, like up here is another area. It's always been a concern ever since I planted grass up here on the hill. Also, I failed to mention, Miss Ferguson did come out here and clear out the brown arbs. Somebody said, I think it's time to pull them. She saw that. She's like, you know what? Yep, I need to get out here. It's nice and cool. It's not 89 degrees. So we've pulled those out. We haven't figured out what we're going to do, but at least we don't have dead brown trees. And I think, pretty sure she did it over here as well. So we're back to, you know, we had the euonymus, I think is what she had in between. The deer kept eating them to death. So we tried to plug in more of these same trees. They didn't take for whatever reason on both sides. Maybe it's the time we planted them, but we did pull those out. So at least it looks, you know, we don't have dead, even though, you know, for Halloween it's dead. So anyways, let's go to the front yard and let me show you the progress of these areas I've had trouble with. So front yard is looking pretty good, guys. I mean, it looks better than the back. With all the gaps and where water withstands. Water don't really hold here, so the front yard is looking better. This area, you remember we dethatched or ran the dethatcher all through here. It's starting to slowly fill in, but it's not perfect. We do still have areas that are still, you know, it's kind of bald, but I'm just hoping that the grass will thicken up and fill in. Finally, my second attempt. Remember I told you we were down here a long time ago where we were talking about pre-germination the first time. All that seed got washed down from storms and rain. Well, all of the second attempt looks to have taken. You see the baby grass there. You can see them in the ditch in the holes. And I know some people say, you just need to put rock there. You just need to do this and that. It's not going to work. And, you know, but I prefer it. I prefer grass rather than putting stone or anything down here to run over the mower. But all these areas are now filling in with baby grass. And even our little experiment, for those that remember, and you see this is beautiful. I also was watering all this, but you see all that new grass popping up. So it did take this time better than the last time. But remember when I just threw seed in the ditch just to do it? Look at all of that. We haven't even, I've sprayed it with some water, but look at all of that baby grass that's just popped up. It's just all that seed is germinated in the ditch. So just throwing it out there, hardly, I don't know what kind of dirt, just putting water on it, it's germinated. So just wanted to show you with our little experiment. And yet here on the bank, I've thrown more seed out here, and it seems like it's fighting back. And so I think a lot of that has to do with what's underneath this bank. It's rocky. I've never had an issue with it germinating. I've had an issue keeping it in the heat. So it's just kind of weird. But as far as the equinox, you guys, I told you that I started parking right here to block Miss Ferguson from running over. And same thing as the ditch. You can see these areas are now getting baby grass in it. And even in her tire tracks, you can see we've got plenty of germination now. Looking very cool, looking very awesome. So now that I've kept Miss Ferguson off of it, just kidding, I love you, babe. We do have germination. We have grass growing now. My daughter's boyfriend's mom came and she's like, Madison said, she turned over the grass, it wasn't me. But still, I'm just hoping I can keep this alive long enough so that all this grass grows and populates. But still, right here seems to be, and over here on this side of the ditch or the bank seems to be the most difficult. But right here, Don't know what's going on. Hope I don't have to do that a third time, fourth time, but we do have baby grass all right here where we have the Equinox tracks. Same thing over here. I think when I was watering this earlier, I finally started seeing, we should be seeing germination all over. I'm not. That is not the case right now. So I'm not seeing tons of germination, but like down here, I am seeing, and I don't know if the camera can even pick that up, but like right here, I am seeing grass come up and it's moist to the touch because I was just watering. Like right here, you know, you can see little blades coming up here and there. So it's slow to come up, and I see a few right there. You can see a few blades coming up right there in different areas of the grass. So it is coming up in this, it's just slow. I figured it would jump out of this stuff, and it really hasn't. It's just taking its time. However, down here where I did this section, same thing that I did up there, I just didn't add any soil. Germination everywhere. Guys, I don't understand. I really don't understand. Germination all over this dirt area. I mean, over there, you got germination that's just, I mean, popping up everywhere. So all over this bald spot, we now have baby grass popping up all over the place. And finally, praise God, I give him glory. In this section, I see little baby grass coming up right here, finally above this pipe. I told you it's taken, this is like the second or third time, and I finally see little babies popping up in this section for the first time, and even over here in this area. So this has been one of those very annoying areas. So that's just, that's pretty much the update. The little gaps, you know, it looks really good back here standing from afar. We still got a long ways to go on this one right here, but that's kind of where we are. We're just filling in the gaps. As I told you, I'm focusing a lot on this because I don't want POA Triv. I don't want Triv to fill in these gaps and then start spreading, and we got to cut it all out and go through that. Really don't want to deal with that. Leaves are falling, so we're going to get more sunlight in this lawn. I'm really hoping this will thicken up. A good, decent natural rain. We had a little bit of rain the other night, but a good, decent natural rain will really help, I think, to jumpstart. And we still got gaps over here in my side lawn that still need to fill in, that I've done once or twice as well. And I know that I did a good job in tilling it up, putting the seed down. It's just a matter of being patient and letting it come in. But all in all, you can see we have transformed a lot. It's hard to nitpick when the overall view of all of this, from this view that you guys are looking at, is pretty awesome. So I think it looks pretty good. So with that quick update on those little trouble spots, we'll try to get out to the project lawn next week. I'll mention, well, we'll mention that next week. I'll give you a recap of that, I'll tell you about it next week. Don't worry about it. We'll wrap it up from there. So we're doing pretty good here. We're dropping in temperature. We're dropping in soil temps. We're looking pretty good in my lawn for this time of year. So God bless you. Thank you for checking in this Friday. If you need some of the links in the description for grass seed, for the tiller that I use, the garden weasel, the CK that can help our roots, all of that, please check out the description for those links to help support the channel. God bless you guys. Hope you have a great day. See you next time.